is Ruth from Artful Sass Design. I'm here to share a journal with you today on using my sewing kits. So I have been using recycled fabrics from a local charity shop and lots of recycled lace and the papers from my sewing kits, which are on Etsy, Artful Sass Etsy. So let's go diving in. Hope you're all well. It's beautiful sunny weather here, so I've had to pull the blinds so I don't get lots of funny sunshine. So I have covered this whole journal with fabric, just old bits of recycled fabric, a bit of embroidered upholstery, and I have tied it with a double fabric tie, which I have I wanted it to be a bit sturdier than just one single layer, so it's got some cotton canvasy fabric on the back, but I've sewn this nice patterned piece of fabric and tied it at the end, embroidered it at the end with a little bit of lace. So diving right in, the front cover has this amazing design. It was an odd cut with some funny shapes, but I've backed it with some nice fabric which I thought toned in beautifully, and it picked it up here as again the same fabric and some lace. On the spine I have a little piece of embroidery, and on the back some silk which picks up the same colours. I've put a little pocket of an image from the kit, and again with the stripy fabric just to give it some contrast. And you can tuck journal cards or anything that you like in this little pocket. So from the start we have two signatures. It's a bit chunky, but I like doing the embellishment and doing all the journal cards, so I get a bit carried away sometimes. So a nice deep pocket on the inside, and I have a journal card there. And this is clipped. This is just a piece of tea stain paper with the image on the top and lots of space for journaling. And that just tucks in there. So this is the beginning of the front one. It says "For the love of stitch," printed onto fabric. Again, this is one of the pages from the kit. Little pocket on the inside, some stenciling, and a journal card. Here I have a Tim Holtz die cut to make a pocket, which I've put a little acetate behind to protect it, and a little thimble, a little journal card there. And that slips in, and you can see it through the cutout shape, which I rather liked. To sew or not to sew, what a silly question. One of the kits has all these sayings, which I think are fun. This is an article of an old lady who had a beautiful Singer sewing machine. This is from 1860. And here you have a snippet belly band and a journal card, and I've stitched around that one, and they just tuck inside that band. Some more stenciling, tea stain paper with doiling, and this one is a fabric flip, and I've just got a little bit of tea stain paper cut out there to resemble lace. Journal card there. Some of the journal cards I haven't put string on the top because I don't want it to get too huge, but that could easily take a piece of string or ribbon. A little glassine envelope with a tiny little journal card. Creativity. Here's a recycled envelope with a window, and another journal card with some lined paper on the back, and another of the images from the kit. These are pages from Rachel, and this is Victoria design, I believe, this one. I just like the image on it. It suited this journal. And I have a nice lace pocket on material, and some of the journal cards from the kit, and some heavy duty craft paper which supports another pocket on the back. And I love making these big tags. This paper, I believe, is from Pink Monarch Prints. More pages from the kit, stenciling, and this is the center of the first one. We've got a little tuck spot for a journal card at the top, and we've got a little pocket envelope. This it's just got two little journal cards and this cute little notebook with some tea stain papers and lined papers. A little bit of washi. On this side I have a pocket which I've turned down and lined, but again with a bit of Rachel from Roxy Creations paper, and I've actually folded it to resemble fabric, and I think that effect is quite pretty. Another handmade card with some collage and some more of the papers. Whoops, I've got that stuck. And the first of several material and embroidered tags. So I've stitched and collaged little pieces of lace and scrap material, and I've done some embroidery just while I was sitting down in the evening. A little bit embroidered around the button and some tea stained on the back so they can be used for writing, and some more images from the kit. And this is a flocked paper which I really liked. It was on sale at Officeworks. And we have an envelope here which is part of the kit again, and has a lovely journal card to go inside. And that's some lining paper just from one of my jelly prints. I do like jelly printing. And again, there's the back of the Victoria Designs one, and Happiness is Handmade. Here I introduced some colour because everything was dark, but this is from Ruby and Pearl, and I think these colours all work really beautifully together, and it's just a nice pop of colour in the centre. And I picked up the colour again on this side. A little journal card, lots of space for writing. And at the other side of the recycled envelope, made another journal card which has got tea stain paper on the back. And a lovely image there. More stenciling. And here we have a kind of rough tuck spot, which could be used as a tuck spot for something small, but it's mostly just page decoration. A little bit of thread there. And a zigzag up, again with some scraps of material to make it look good. And the main pocket down below with tags from the kit. This is one of these thread winders you can use if you're choosing samples of colours for a project. You can wrap it around there and you've got them all in one place. Here we have the first, this is a little scrap of lace. So I have made it into a tiny little pocket. I saw this on YouTube, and I can't for the life of me remember who did it, but it's just a little collage, white on white, and it just makes such a pretty little pocket. I really like the idea and stole it. So I apologise to the person who did these things. I really can't remember where I got them. These are from Victoria Designs. They have a little sewing embellishment kit and lots of lovely ideas. That just sits on that page. I can fix that later. Again, there's a doily on the tea stain paper, some more text, and a little pocket there with a fabric trim along the bottom and the other side of the page from the kit. Little page embellishment there with a little fancy stitch from my machine. And this is a flip out. So you flip out, whoops, getting carried away there. It flips out, and there's another flip which can move the whole thing along so it stays in frame. And here we have a little pocket with two little journal cards here. Some of my background papers in the background here. Just wanted something dark to show off the tags. And I've put this little journal card just to sit inside. I love the colours of the world. It's a Singer sewing machine advert. So it must be from the early 1900s, I would say. And that closes up. Oh, I think I've got this one flipping out as well. There we go. And that's the first signature. So this is the start of the second signature with this beautiful embroidery. And we have another flip and that just has a little pocket there, and 2 little tags, and some little collage pieces to cover the edge of the paper flip. Here I've done some fabric collage, and I have done some sewing to keep all the pieces together, and I think it just makes a nice contrast with the tea stained paper. So these are just scraps of material thrown together, and I just love the colours with the tea stained paper. A little bit of stenciling and some tags from a kit with a little bit of one of my background papers and a Victoria design sewing kit. This is a little seam decoration, but this time I made it a tuck, so I stuck it on, I backed it onto tea stained paper so it gives it more substance. And here we have another of the tags, which are made of material. So this is mostly cotton here, and I've done some quite heavy embroidery around the heart shape, and little French knots, and some sari silk ribbon for the tag. Again, I lined it with paper just in case somebody wanted to use it as a proper tag. So they slip in there. And here we have the glassine envelope with a little tag. That's from my kit. I think it might be Victoria Designs, but I'm not 100% sure. And here I have folded the page back and embroidered along the top to keep the flap down. And this is a bit of Tim Holtz fancy cutouts I've used there. And you probably can't see it, but there is a little bit of gold. I'm not sure if you could pick it up in the camera, but there's a little bit of gold wax that I've rubbed on top of them, but you can see when the light is right. And on this side there's a little piece of silk with stitching up the middle. Again, page from the kit, and this was a really interesting, I can't even remember what I was doing, but it came out beautifully. It's tea stained paper, but the texture is just phenomenal. I think it was one of these plastic mats that you get at the dollar store. On the other side, a little tiny notebook and pocket, and another recycled envelope. So this one I made into a tag with a bit of cotton up the side and some tea stained paper on the back. And on the envelope I cut a circle, and I flapped the actual inside of the envelope back to make this interesting edge. And you can just see the tag peeping through that little girl with the sewing machine wheel. And that's a pocket as well, so you could add something there if you wanted to add some more. There's so much in the journal already, I didn't want to fill everything. A little bit collage on the back. And here we have another flocked paper envelope. This time I have trimmed it with some lace and some cotton material. And again, used the lovely green colour to back the cap. This is actually from my background papers, this beautiful colour. And here we have another flip out, just exposing a pocket. And this time I've put the thread holder actually on as decoration. I think it looks lovely. And this is a little notebook, so it's got 2 tags which were on the page like that, and I kept them together, and I've got some note paper in there. Excuse me. This is some Italian papers from Roxy Creations. Little embellishment with some scissors, and here we have a little flap. The flap's just tea stained paper with a little embellishment. Lots of space to write in this journal. Interestingly enough, this pocket is from a restaurant nearby, and when they serve you, you have your knife, fork and napkin in these brown craft pouches. So I stole them from our table. There was 4 of us, and so I got 4 of them, and I brought them home before they got messed up with food. So I've added it to the journal, and I've added a little bit of paper inside just to highlight the opening, and made a little card. I think that it's just perfect size. Lined paper, some ledger paper, and this is the center of the second signature. So here I have an old envelope decoration, some stenciling, these beautiful ornate scissors, and this opens up completely. And here is a fabric sample. So if you were making something, you could choose some fabrics and see what goes together, and you can remember what you used by keeping them on a little card. Sometimes I amaze myself, other days I look for my scissors while I'm already holding them. I'm sure we all have moments like that. That just slips in. On the other side, same kind of envelope. I just set it a little bit higher and put trim along the bottom. And again, it opens out to some little embellishments. And that just sits in there. There we go. And this time I made a pocket, and that's some very old sewing ephemera from the UK. It says 51p. It's a lot, very old. From the 70s, I would reckon. 1970 something. And some more ledger paper, lined paper, and another flip. So this flips out, and we have one of the fabric tags. So here I've used greys and whites to create this little collage, and I've used pistol stitch, cross stitch, and some running pistol stitch just to make this interesting area. And this is just lots of little stitches. It's fun to do these little tags, sitting in front of the TV of an evening. And again from Ruby and Pearls. The pocket on the side has 3 little pieces of ephemera, and I just thought the colours there toned in beautifully with this. There we go. And here we have another little pocket with 2 bigger, larger tags. And some French adverts. And another part of the snippet. So I've got lace and paper and 3 rows of stitching. I think this is Roxy Creation does a wonderful tutorial on creating these long snippets, and then you can cut them up and use them in different ways. And just 2 little tags. 2 little journal cards, not tags. And they just sit in there. Another larger pocket with this beautiful flocked material, and this is an embroidered, a very old embroidered. It's a reproduction of art embroidery made on a Singer family sewing machine. So it's interesting. I'm sure it would take people a long time to be able to do it so beautifully. A little bit of avocado stained paper, and here we have a pocket page with some of the collage paper from the kit, and a beautiful butterfly trimmed with lace, and we've got a little advert tag coming out of there. I've lined the back of that pocket just to keep it from looking boring. And on the other side we've got another pocket and a little piece of embroidered. So it's one of these samplers where you can learn how to do embroidery. I just loved all the colours. And here we had some damage on the paper, and it's really easy, you know, even when paper is damaged you can really fix it quite simply. And this is a beautiful old piece of paper, and again interesting paper with the funny watermarks from tea staining. And there's lots of room for writing, and this is another flip with a little bit of collage and a tiny little pocket if you want to put something in that. And there's a tiny little pocket there as well with, I put a little bit of acetate there to protect it. And this is a 3 envelope flip out, so it's 3 recycled envelopes I got in the post from the bank, I think they were. So this is a big tag with the tape measure and an image from the kit, and it's got some collage strips on the back. It's a great way to use your scraps when you're doing these kind of tags. Open up to some lovely paper. I think it's pink monarch prints, this one, and some little images. It's a double pocket, and there's some little receipts in that one. And on the flip out there's another little pocket with 2 little receipts and a Tracy Fox label. And this is a little collage tag. And on the back again we've got an old window envelope, and I've collaged the tag making sure that the image was in the right place for the window, which doesn't sometimes work, but I was very careful this time and I managed to get it in the right place. So this woman's lovely smile is in the window. There she goes, she's right in the window. So I was quite pleased with the result of that one. And we'll put that to the side. Keep it in there so I know where it goes. And a small piece of graph paper, more tea stain paper with a lace doily. And this is one of the embroidered pockets in the kit, and 2 tags, a little bit lace embellishment on that one. And this is a flap. This is one of the images from Medieval Ladies, I think. It's from Roxy Creations. And this little tag from Tag Fabrication. This was in my stash from Tracy Fox. It's a perfect little size. Some Tim Holtz washi tape, and again with that lovely tape measure and 2 little tags. And we end up at the end of the second signature, and this is the inside cover, which is covered in a piece of interesting tea stained paper, again with different objects making marks while it's been staining, and a little envelope, a collage from these envelopes are part of the kit, and they come with a journal card that fits perfectly inside. And this is just some of my jelly prints to give the inside an interesting appearance. And this is a page from an old newspaper, and I just loved all this. It's French, and I just liked the way it looked, and I've got tea staining on the back, so it makes a lovely place to write extra. And this just fits in the end pocket, which is made with the collage from the kit. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will have a look at it. The kits I used to make them, they're on my Etsy store. And thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. So bye for now, bye for me.